In our previous episode, we explored the sights and bites of Davao City for the first time. But today, we're leaving Del Sur province and driving eastward for 3 days of fun and sun on Dusit Thani's Lubi Plantation Resort, just off the De Oro coast. While our Colorado home is getting dumped with snow, we're taking full advantage of the Philippines' gorgeous January weather and the endless leisure activities at this 5-star, white sand, marine-protected, coconut plantation, private island oasis in the Davao Gulf. Sugdan na nato.
We just had an hour van ride taking us to the resort's welcome center. So this is where we check in, get some paperwork out of the way, before taking a very short boat ride because we can see the resort island from here. I love getting on boats. Well, we're not gonna get too settled in because I'm sure it's just a few minutes to get over there.
Way.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I love it when they're scented. Such a beautiful welcome on the island, and they have dancers.
The welcome drink here is coconut, which makes sense because Lubi, which is in the name of the resort, means coconut.
And I'm gonna go join the welcome dancers.
A perfect addition.
Oh, that dancing's worked up an appetite. We're gonna have lunch and we're gonna do it at the poolside restaurant.
This is how I like to start any resort stay. Food. And especially, I mean, look at this view.
Actually, they have 2 pools, and this is a sunrise pool. The other one, of course, is a sunset pool. So we'll see that later.
Well, we've been here for almost 5 minutes, so we might as well have another welcome drink. This one is actually coconut wine, which is maybe a bit of a misnomer. I don't want to mislead anybody. Is there alcohol in it? They say that right now there's some, but it will basically ferment so quickly today that by like 6 p.m. tonight, if you had this for dinner, it'll have more alcohol. So it's a really popular thing. It's not made from the actual coconut. It comes from the sap of the coconut tree, and it's called sukatuba. So I'm gonna try it. They said you start from scratch every day. You wouldn't keep it overnight because they're gonna harvest more in the morning. So it would start to be vinegary. In fact, it turns into such a vinegar after one day that they use it in the kitchen as vinegar after that. But it has a bit of a vinegar smell to it, but not a flavor at all right now. It's effervescent, if you know what I mean. Like, it tastes like it's carbonated even though it's not carbonated. It just has that effect on your tongue. It's really, really good. And by the way, if you remember that we said we are doing dry January with a bunch of our friends, this is a little exception. It doesn't count, it's fine.
They brought us some quinila. It's pomelo tuna. It has some radish and some roe in there too.
And then a salad, and this has shrimp and prawn roe and looks like bell peppers. But the base, the green, is actually a local, it's the native fern from the island. And it has some hard-boiled eggs in there, and Brooklyn already got her hands on one.
And the chicken binakol, the broth is made from the coconut milk too. So they're just using as much of that coconut as possible. We love that because they actually won an award for being the most sustainable resort in the Philippines.
Excuse my reach, bud. We've got so much more food. They're just bringing us tons of stuff. This is a beef rib caldereta. Looks like it's got some potatoes and some cheese on top. Wow, looks like a little lasagna. Can't wait to dig into that one. And then practically one of my favorites over here. This is crispy pork kare kare. Looks a lot like basically chunks of crispy pata, which is my favorite.
And there's more. Grilled pompano, which is a fish, and it looks so good. I think we're ready to dig in. I can't imagine that there'd be any more. We're gonna take advantage of every single dish on this table, and we're gonna take advantage of every single opportunity there is to do activities on this island. We've got 2 days ahead of us. We're gonna start now. We're gonna do a resort tour as soon as we finish this.
But not before we have dessert, because they brought us Lubi pie, so coconut pie. It's a coconut-filled cupcake kind of base with caramel sauce across the top, and then a scoop of vanilla ice cream and a cherry. I can already tell this is gonna be really good. Some specially kind of prepared coconut in the middle. I don't even know how to pronounce it, let alone describe it, but this is really good.
Is that coconut ice cream?
Vanilla.
Vanilla ice cream. Just like coconut.
Coconut in the middle of the cake.
Now let's go check out the resort.
Brooklyn wants to go and check out some reptiles with me, so we're gonna see if we can go do that.
We're staying in one of 18 villas they have on the property, and you can make it 2-bedroom, but ours is 1 bedroom and it's beautiful. We have a huge living room and lots of light coming in from outside, but right away there's some welcome fruit. That's always so nice. The kids can snack throughout the day if they need to, and a little dining area. But right there, that door is, if you had 2 bedrooms, that would be the connecting door for them, but only ours has a pool. I'll show you in a minute. But this living room has 2 loungers, big loungers, so they're like sofas, and this mini bar over here, so you can get some snacks. The water, of course, is complimentary, along with the coffee. But this little mini bar, you can get some drinks, some extra drinks for yourself, and all your coffee needs and glasses and utensils and creamers and everything, that's right in that drawer. Okay, let me show you the bedroom. They have this room set up, so Phil and I have a king-size bed, and then there's a queen trundle or cot rollaway bed that they brought in here for the kids. And there's a desk, an ottoman. I wonder if that trundle would normally be like a sofa bed if you didn't have kids in here. And then our TV for watching at night as we go to bed. But this pool is just for this side. So if you have the other room without the connecting part, then you would not have this pool. Oh, it's beautiful. So it's an infinity edge, and we have a little bit of sand, a little pony wall, and then the water's out there. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. And I'll bet you this is gonna be the perfect spot for sunset. I think the sun's gonna go down just right over the horizon there. It's not the only outdoor area in this villa. We've got the closet with 2 robes. I'm sure if we needed more, then we could request that. And then this side of the closet has the safe right here and some extra drawers if you need them. But this bathroom has 2 parts to it. We have toilet in here, and then our double vanities for teeth brushing time and hair brushing time. And there is an indoor shower. We also have an outdoor shower, which has a humongous bathtub. And the shower that I know I'm gonna be using is the outdoor shower. But this is almost like a little living area, because it even has like a chair to lounge in. But I love it. I love outdoor showers. We've got these coconut trees right above us. It's so pretty. We're gonna drop the kids and leave them here. We're gonna be running lean, and we're gonna explore the property a little bit and get to know it before we start doing our activities. There's so many activities that you can do on the property. This whole island is 87 hectares, and the resort that's been built on is only 37. The remaining 50 is a coconut farm.
Also a solar farm right behind us here is where they generate the solar electricity. They've got over 1,000 panels currently, and it's constantly growing, but it's already powering about 60% of the electricity needs for the entire island.
They actually house all their staff here, a little over 160 employees that live on property there, and all the units are air conditioned and they have, you know, full amenities there.
One of the other big challenges with having a resort on an island, as we've learned from some of our own research, is the water situation. We've been on some islands, island resorts, where they're having to bring in bags of ice and lots of water from the mainland. So it can be a really big challenge, but luckily here, they produce basically all the water. And they've got an underground well right here that's basically under where we are right now. That's why it's not concrete or paved roads. They are essentially gravel, so the water can just absorb right back down into that well. And that water is purified through reverse osmosis, so it can be used for everything from taking showers to drinking water. They have their own bottling facility on the island right here, so they're making still bottled water, sparkling bottled water for drinking. And they're able to take the seawater and they have desalinization operations right here as well. So many different ways that they can pull all of that in, and depending on the product of that water, it has different uses. So some of it's only good enough for irrigation around the grounds, for example, while some is very safe to drink.
The resort's not just for guests. They have a lot of visitors that come to enjoy the beach and the restaurants and all the activities and amenities that they have here. So they have locker rooms. If you come and want to leave your stuff, your purse, and just walk around, that's a place that you can do it right there. Right over there, they have tennis courts and basketball and chess. The kids love actually playing those life-size chess pieces. And they've got mini golf over here. It's a puzzle mini golf, a 9-hole course. They offer a complimentary foot bath, and the kids are gonna take hours. So go ahead, enjoy the luxury, buddy.
But this one it takes 5 minutes.
Colt, is it gonna be ticklish?
I don't know.
While they're getting their foot baths, I'm gonna get changed because right after this, we're heading to the beach. So we're heading back to Sunrise Beach. It's low tide, but I think it's gonna be sufficient for a little water play. I think they've set aside a couple of stand-up paddle boards and maybe a couple of sea kayaks that we can use right now. Current's a little too rough in terms of the tide going out for us to do the jet skiing today, but maybe that's something we can keep on the list for tomorrow.
You like my new hat? I do. I mean, it's a new style of hat for me, and I might need to get a hat like this now. But it is from the resort. It was in our room, and I'm gonna borrow it while we're here.
Yay.
I'm thinking the waters look so calm, so pretty out there. We're gonna do some paddleboarding.
Looks like Brooklyn's having fun out there.
It's time for my turn to go stand-up paddleboard, which I have no clue if I'm good at it or not. Oh, that's easier than I thought.
Even though this is Sunrise Beach, it's still a really pretty place to watch the sunset. And it looks like Colt found some wildlife over there.
When I was done, I went searching for some crabs and stuff. I found some brittle stars and a lot of crabs.
What kind of crab?
I don't know. I found a baby blue crab down there earlier, though.
Cool.
And I think just green shore crabs.
I hear a lot of karaoke coming from across the water over there. It doesn't really look like resorts or anything, just maybe beaches, but they've definitely got some music going, and I think it's karaoke.
Speaking of karaoke,
This big, beautiful building is called The Mill, and it's kind of split into two big areas. Over here is the burger bar, so it's a restaurant that takes up the entire side. You have the social spot right here in the middle. But on the left is basically an entertainment hall where we have so many things to play with.
they've also got some Starbucks and an ice cream bar, tons of games like pool, ping pong and air hockey, but the kids are making some ruckus in Studio 54.
This is one of 3 karaoke studios that they have in here. The others are Studio 55 and Studio 56.
This is his signature karaoke song.
It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep.
Bravo, bravo! Now mommy's turn. Hey, yeah! Oh, yeah! Uh-huh! Yeah! Wanna dance with somebody? I'm terrible. Clock strikes upon the hour and the sun begins to fade. Still enough time to figure out how to chase my blues away. I've done alright up till now with somebody who loves me.
Trying to follow Whitney Houston, a bold choice, baby.
You guys will
I
be
know
very
it.
surprised with what I'm about to say.
I had fun with that one.
All right, guys, I think I've got one that we can all enjoy together if I can find it. I had my chance that I could make these people dance. And maybe they'd be happy for a while.
Bye-bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. And the good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die.
Whew. After that, why don't you tell us a little bit about Guide to the Philippines and how we arranged this package?
Well, Phil, I'm glad you asked, and thank you everyone for joining us. Guide to the Philippines is a phenomenal booking platform for all your Philippine travel needs.
Sounds really amazing.
It is, Phil. Let me tell you more. You can not only book this exact 4-day Davao City trip package that we're on right now, which is in the description, but you can book your hotels, your flights, your transportation, and other trip packages too.
That's absolutely incredible. You know, it makes me want to sing a little ditty for you.
Take it away, Phil.
And I was thinking, my, that is one great website. I went looking for a hotel and I added a flight. Then I booked a hotel transfer and a food tour at night, thinking this is one great package I'd buy.
You're amazing. I think I just fell more in love with you. All right, that's it for tonight, folks.
There's so many beautiful walking trails around this island, Aaron and I definitely wanted to get up early this morning, go for a little nature walk and see some of the things that are around the coasts and the forests. Walk through some of the coconut groves, things like that. And of course, we had to bring Colt because he's our certified herpetologist guide. Come here, bud, show us your tag.
I took a class for herpetology with amphibians.us. But yeah, I passed. My father and I made this custom ID.
One of the reasons that we made this, because he actually has a big certificate, but we had this one made. It's a laminated card inside that looks totally legit. If I could pull it out of here, you see even on the back it has information and QR codes and whatnot. But it's because of the one experience that we had at another resort where he went to grab that juvenile monitor lizard and they were like, no, you can't grab stuff. And so he immediately put it down thinking it was just against the rules to do it, when in fact, they were just worried that he was going to get hurt. They didn't realize how well versed and experienced he is with reptiles. So we were like, you know what, from now on, you're going to wear this so people know you're the real deal. We're also hooking up with Jaime, who's our resort guide, a little bit more official in that regard. He knows the island really well because he lives here, so he's going to show us around.
I mentioned the artwork they have all over the property, and this is one of them. This piece is a sundial, and it's made from recycled cans and bottles.
So what time is it right now?
It's just after 7 a.m. And over here is the Lubi logo, the leaf. And what's cool about that piece of art is if you are looking from an aerial shot above, the leaf actually from above makes the shape of the island. Phil's shaking his head.
The leaf shape is the same as the aerial view of the island.
That's what I said.
No, you said if you look at the leaf shape from above.
Yeah.
I just want to be clear that the leaf shape from above is probably a rectangle.
I see what you're saying. That leaf shape is what forget it, whatever. Go with what Phil said.
This is a pandan leaf.
I love pandan. This is a pandan leaf. And I love pandan. I feel like pandan tastes like a really subtle vanilla coconut.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a dessert here that we call buko pandan. So you mix it with coconut, then boil the pandan, then it's a good dessert.
Over here, there's this sprawling display of these nets, and they were collected by the employees here. And it symbolizes that they have to protect the ocean. It reminds them that we do have net pollution in the ocean. And if you see the little white spots on it, that is coral that the net has been caught in. Of course, it kills the coral. And if the coral dies, our oceans die.
It's just a little organic farm right here. Everything from really good banana trees over here that produce export quality bananas to lemongrass, tarragon. What did you say we have over here, Jaime? Butterfly pea.
Actually, we had butterfly pea tea in Anantara when we did the elephant experience in Thailand.
We made it to the other side of the island here, at least the village part, and this is Sunset Beach, and then behind me is the Sunset Pool, so the second pool to where we were yesterday. There's also a kids pool right here. And just beyond is a Thai restaurant that we're going to be eating at, I believe, tonight. And originally, a few years ago, that was the owner's residence for the resort. And I think that was before it was purchased by Dusit, is that right?
The view you get is of Samal Island over there, and way in the background is Apo Island, but it's got some cloud coverage here.
Mount Apo.
Mount Apo, sorry, not Apo Island. That's a totally different area in the Philippines. Samal Island is a place that we've heard of quite a bit. We know it's a place that we should go and visit. We've gotten a lot of comments telling us that we need to see there. But when we had the opportunity to come here to this island, we could not refuse it. This is such a great island to be at. I can't imagine it being any better than it gets here. But eventually maybe we'll visit Samal as well.
This beautiful little stretch of beach right here is actually a turtle sanctuary. It's mostly hawksbill that they have here. The mama turtles will come up here, come into the sand, dig their little holes, lay their little eggs, and they do a really good job of keeping track of that kind of activity here, and they'll take these baskets and place them over on top to help keep away most of the predators. They want as many of them as possible to hatch. But you can only help them so much because they still do need to be able to survive. So Jaime was telling us that when the turtles hatch, they still have to be able to crawl all the way to the ocean, and it like magnetizes the sand to their little bodies. So again, helps them actually survive once they get into the water. But in the meantime, they do everything they can to maximize their chances of survival.
And that is an experience that we never seem to time out perfectly yet. Their last egg hatching was 2 weeks ago, so we only missed it by a couple of weeks.
Well, there's always next time. That part of their team that's focused on the marine conservation here is responsible for about 8 hectares of waterfront. And they're monitoring things like the seagrass and corals and of course the turtles. So they really understand everything that's going on pretty much at all times along this area of the coast. Like these little mounds right here, these are not actually from turtles, these are crab holes.
This is really cool. This is a wishing tree. It's actually 2 different trees. The bigger one, the thicker one is talisay, and balite wraps around it, and doing that makes both of them stronger. So they're stronger together. They can survive storms much better together than apart. This reminds me of Phil and I. A good marriage is just like a wishing tree.
Phil and me.
Phil and me. And back to the wishing tree part of it, they have little tags here for us to fill out. We can write little notes and wishes and then put it on the tree. Let's do that. We can hang them wherever we want, wherever calls our name, and I'm feeling drawn over here, right here.
Oh, cute. I'm gonna put mine over here by Colt so his isn't lonely. And so the branch isn't lonely.
Colt's wish is to catch a Jesus lizard. If you want to know what our wishes are, just ask in the comments and we'll share.
I have a goal to catch a Jesus lizard, which I just found out they have on the island. Remember back when I was in Belize and I was 24/7 just trying to catch a Jesus lizard. Couldn't do it till the last day, and I finally got one because they are so fast that they can actually run on water, and that's why they're called Jesus lizards. And he's off. I don't feel like going that far into the mangroves, but there was a Jesus lizard, a small one, very small.
They're picking a puzzle nut for us. I've never heard of a puzzle nut. I love puzzles. I get so funny over puzzles. I'll do 1,000, 1,500, sometimes 2,000 piece puzzles, and I obsess over them. And I will actually dream of the pieces coming and fitting together. 8 pieces to the puzzle. So some of them will be harder than others. I like a challenge. Is 8 a lot?
That's a medium difficulty.
A medium difficulty. It's a perfect one to start with. So different pieces. So, I mean, do you eat it or do you just piece it together? The point is to just piece it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I lost a piece?
Oh, no, it's just the side.
Okay, no. Ah, there we go. All right, Colt, can you piece this together? This is like a good game for kids because it could keep them occupied
Edible?
No, not edible though.
I honestly expected this to just be a nice little morning stroll, but I am blown away by how interesting so many of the things on this nature walk are. There's another thing that we're gonna go do right now, and yesterday we showed you the really cool coconut wine we had at lunch. We ended up having some more at dinner, by the way, so after 6 p.m. when it's supposed to be much more alcoholic. But we're gonna go see how they harvest the tuba, the sap from the coconut trees right now, because we like to see how things are made instead of just consuming them all the time.
On our way there, we're passing the chapel. It's a really big and beautiful chapel. They have a lot of weddings here on the property, and a lot of their turtle hatchings actually happen during weddings. That happened 2 weeks ago too. So what a cool event to have for your wedding, very memorable. And then right across here is their pavilion. That's where they do most of the receptions here.
So it looks like he's got 1 jug of water that he took up there with him. By the way, how efficient is that to not have to get a ladder out every time? And he's rinsing out the jugs after he pours the sap out. And then he's got this little machete kind of thing on his waist, and he's just cutting off the tip of the tube again so it's nice and fresh, probably so the sap can come out of there more easily. And then he puts that jug right back on there. I don't think it gets any fresher than that. Try it.
That's perfect.
So technically it's been fermenting for a little while already because this has been in there in the tap all night long, juicing out of there. Oh, that's so good. So it's probably about 4 hours younger than the one we had for lunch yesterday. But Jaime was saying he likes to have a sip of this first thing in the morning. So that would be from the previous day. So more like good 24 to 30 hours worth of drip and fermentation on that. This is the same way, by the way, that they harvest the juice for the Lambanog spirit, which of course is a whole lot stronger because that's going to be up there probably in the tens of percents of alcohol content, whereas this one is still probably just 1 to 2%. But each one of these tubes, the palm tubes that they're getting the sap from, is good for producing about 1 month. So every single day they can harvest the fresh juice from there, but they can do that for about 30 days per, and then they just cut off a new palm leaf. It really is good.
And it's good for you. There's anti-inflammatory, vitamin C, probiotics. So even though this is the very first thing we're having this morning, it's a nutritious breakfast. Each time we try it, it gets better and better. This is even more delicious than what we had yesterday, I think. And it's less effervescent. There are less like fuzzy bubble feelings.
Okay, but let's go meet the kids for some quick breakfast.
We need to fuel up because we have a full day of activities ahead of us, and we're gonna start with jet skiing. So let's go get our suits on.
Oh, and then we go like
Fishing. Yeah. And then grill it, and then eat it.
So yesterday we saw the super cool swing out on the beach, but now it's underwater.
This is high tide.
It's high tide. It's still fun though. Well, my mom and I are gonna take the jet ski first because there's only one, but Brooklyn and Dad will get the next one.
We get to go outside of this little area because it's for swimming and snorkeling over here, and we get much more open territory to explore. I always love riding with Colt. He's my bud. Out there you get a gorgeous view of the resort, of Davao, of Samal Island, Mount Apo. I mean, it's beautiful.
We don't jet ski nearly enough. It's such a fun activity. And actually, remember the first time we did it at Uncle Paul's house?
Yeah.
And then after that, she loved it so much. She was like a little speed demon. She was only this big at the time. And she was driving it herself, probably more than 50 miles an hour, whatever that is. 80 kilometers, I don't know, something. And then she's like, Dad, when we travel, can jet skiing be our thing? So we started trying to do it as much as possible, but there aren't that many places that have jet skis available. So it's fun to be out there. I felt like it kind of took me back to our first time doing that together in Mexico. But it's time to go fishing. Colt and I are gonna catch our lunch.
And now we're going fishing, and we're probably gonna catch a fish called bungus, also known as milkfish.
They're taking us to a private lagoon on the island, and that's where they have the freshwater fish. They have the bungus, which is likely to be what we catch, and I think there's also tilapia there too. They're very similar fish, white and flaky.
And we're not actually going to use fishing rods, we're going to use fishing lines, which sounds like the same thing, but I don't know. We'll have to see.
It's kind of big.
So cool, that was fast, huh? I thought he was gonna catch it with his bare hands though.
That's about as close as you can come without actually catching it with your bare hands. So jet skiing was my tradition with Brooklyn early on, but I also had traditions with Reagan and with Colt. Reagan's was scuba diving, so she got scuba certified very early on in our travels, and then she and I would dive any place that we went that had diving. Colt and I used to fish everywhere. These days, he's much more into reptiles, but back then, he was all about fishing. So any place we would go, we'd be catching fish, bringing them back, and having them for our meals.
They have over 1,000 fish in here. They're in a controlled environment, but they are bred naturally.
Look over here, bud.
Sure. I missed the picture. I was trying to get the picture of him holding it up.
Oh, you didn't? Well,
I didn't. You'll see what I did get. You'll see that on Instagram. You can follow us at All These Be Changing. Now we're gonna cook them. Let's go have lunch.
Don't fall in, or you're gonna be their lunch.
Oh, I can't imagine just getting nibbled on by all these fish.
What do you think?
That was cool.
Easiest fishing ever?
Yeah, I never caught a fish like that. All you have to do is hold it there. Wow.
Just hold them like that, bud.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually hard.
Perfect.
Thank you. Here he is, Bangus Bob. And this is the grilled version. And this is the fried version of Bangus Bob. Brooklyn, which one do you want, fried or grilled? Grilled. You got it, girl.
Well, Lord knows where Colt is, probably out catching some lizards, unfortunately. Hopefully he makes his way back here soon. But in the meantime, Colt's the one who caught the fish, Brooklyn's the one who gets to eat the fish.
Bones for sure, but really good. These are both really good, and I don't think anybody likes it as much as Brooklyn does. She's gone through 4 helpings. One of my favorite desserts in the Philippines is turon, and this has a little caramel sauce. Oh, so amazing. What a sweet, sweet lunch. I want to thank Colt for catching the fish, Brooklyn for eating most of it, and I want to thank the banana for being part of my dessert. Sadly, after lunch, Colt started to not feel well, which is not because of the lunch. Yeah, he's coming down with something, but that is unfortunately a sad reality of a lot of vacations. Sometimes people get sick and man, it sucks. Poor guy. So we are going to get right back to him after our sunset cruise.
We really should have gone snorkeling today, but honestly, it's so hard to pack everything in such a short trip. We're only here for 3 days, and there are literally 50 activities that we could be doing here. So you got to pick your favorites, and this is always one of mine. Hey, how you doing?
There is a vanishing island over there, and it looks like it's high tide right now. It can be a sandbar when it's low tide, but right now you can barely see it. There's some people over there standing up, and it's about waist high. And then I can't tell if that's maybe a coconut tree trunk there. Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Brooklyn, help yourself, honey. Charcuterie tray is pretty much the perfect food for a sunset cruise. And I should tell you, they also have wine. They offered Aaron and me some white wine and or red wine. But of course we said no because it's a dry January. Otherwise, no better place to have a glass of wine than on a sunset cruise. I for one think that the clouds make the sunset look extra beautiful, but the one downside is that it's covering up Mount Apo.
which most of you probably know is the highest peak in the Philippines. I've yet to see it, and it would be a shame if we had to leave Davao without getting a glimpse of it. Almost 3,000 meters tall. And it's interesting because we've been spending some time in Apo Island off the coast of Dumaguete, and here's Mount Apo in a completely different place. So I actually looked up what does Apo mean, and actually get some different answers on that, because on the internet it kind of indicated that Apo represents the relationship between grandparents and grandchildren, but here we've been told that it really just means grandchildren or grandchild. So I don't know, what do you think? Put it in the comments.
Trying to see if we can find some dolphins. Sunset and sunrise is a really good time for dolphin spotting, but so far, no luck.
Right there, right there.
I love dolphins and whales, and I'm blown away. That was one of the coolest experiences. I'm tickled. That was awesome. I mean, we've seen dolphins before, and usually it's been kind of at a distance, or it's like one or two, and never anything like that. And I almost felt like they were playing with us, like with the boat, and they were right under us, like right there. That was so amazing. I love them so much. They're everywhere. I want to swim with them so badly.
They're right under my feet.
I just want to jump in there with them. Oh my gosh. I love them. This is beautiful. This is, I'm tearing up. This is one of those moments. That was really, really cool, really special. I have so much gratitude. It was amazing.
As if the dolphins weren't perfect enough, you can now see the top of Mount Apo right through the clouds. Checked off the list. Beautiful.
What a perfect sunset cruise this turned out to be.
That really was a phenomenal cruise. It's too bad that Colt missed it, but you know, he's not feeling well. Luckily, he and I have experienced something similar in the past, so it's not as if he's never seen dolphins swimming right in front of us off the bow of a boat. But Aaron's gonna go check on Colt, and then we're gonna meet back up for dinner because we've got a really cool meal planned.
Well, Colt's doing all right, but he needs his rest. So the kids are gonna have room service together tonight, and that leaves Phil and I for a special Thai-style meal at the main restaurant.
Well, technically our dinner is still on the Sunrise Beach, but it's not at the restaurant. We're eating in a more special place tonight.
Oh, how nice! This is so pretty.
Set up for 4 because it was supposed to be 4. Little sad, but not too sad. I love date nights.
This caps off a really special day. Honestly, with the sunset cruise, I wasn't expecting too much because I just love being on the water. I mean, that's what I was looking forward to. I feel so much positive energy when we're on the water. But for those dolphins to come up and play around us and under us, and it just felt like they were having fun with us. It was, oh my gosh, I'm still like, I'm still glowing from that experience. I loved it. And then to come out here and to have this special setup on the beach, it feels beautiful and romantic and lovely. And a really great way to spend our last evening at the resort.
It really is an impressive hotel brand, and I'm surprised we haven't heard about it before, especially because of their footprint internationally. I'm curious how many continents they would say they are on if we asked them, because I looked on the website and I think I would count 4. Obviously Asia, tons and tons in Asia. We've got Greece, so that's Europe, right? We call that, yeah, Europe, because they're EU. And there is Africa, maybe several. I think I saw Egypt on there, so that would count as Africa. And then they've got at least one resort, and I think it might be one that's on the island of Guam. And technically, Guam is part of Oceania, so Australia, which would be a 4th continent. So I think it's 4. I call it 4.
Fresh shrimps.
The company is headquartered in Bangkok, so Thai is their main cuisine. And at their other resort, Dusit D2 in Davao City, we had a really great dinner, like really yummy Thai food. So no doubt this is gonna be delicious as well. We're starting off with a soup, tumangoon, and it's got some beautiful mushrooms in there, and lots of herbs and spices, and shrimp. So flavorful, and it's a little spicy. I like it hot. I like it spicy.
Yeah, I think this is delicious. I love Thai soups, actually. Now we already have another dish, and this is satay gai. So chicken skewers with a peanut sauce. Very, very Thai. Oh, that's so good. I've had so much peanut stuff today here because I love it.
And kai jewel, it's a Thai omelet. Chives all over it. So it's an egg mixture just like an omelet, but it's really thin and it's got onions in it, and there is like a sweet, salty, savory taste to it. So some kind of oil, I'm not exactly sure what it is.
Well, and the most important part, I think, is the shrimp and other seafood.
We got more food coming.
Fisher masamanua, slow cook US rib.
And it sounds like here we've got a beef rib, and it is in a curry sauce. It's like a southern Thai kind of curry. Very tender. Ooh, wow. Cinnamon stick. And you get a lot of cinnamon in it. It's like a cinnamon curry. Very good. Haven't had anything taste like that before.
And our final main dish is the classic shrimp pad thai, and it's a little bit customizable. And they have cracked red pepper, salt, and peanuts. So I'm gonna take a little on my plate. Pad Thai, my style.
Well, I guess that leaves just one dish, and it's Aaron's typical favorite.
We call this mango sticky rice with peanut with herbs.
Awesome. I think it's probably everybody's favorite Thai dessert, mango sticky rice, a total classic and never disappoints. And this meal, the whole meal didn't disappoint. It was a really special evening, and we have something just as special for breakfast.
What a great spread, huh?
Yeah, seriously, a classic, iconic Southeast Asia tradition to have a floating breakfast on vacation.
We've got charcuterie. We have 2 kinds of pancakes. It looks like chocolate and regular with all the accoutrements. We got whipped cream, syrup, jam, hash browns and scrambled eggs, a fruit plate. I see another ube ensenada. Ensenada is a city in Mexico that I've been to.
I am still reeling with glee from last night's dolphin experience. I just loved that so much. I mean, really, everything has been so great on this trip. I mean, we have a private island resort. What gets better than that? all the activities that they have here. We couldn't even fit everything that we did into this episode.
This is probably the most family-friendly resort we've ever been to, wouldn't you say? I mean, other than maybe Disney World or whatever, but
Right.
they really go above and beyond to make sure there are countless activities, not just for the adults, but for the kids.
Yeah. I mean, we would be going from one activity to another, and Colt would say like, oh my gosh, hey, can we go mini golfing on the way there? Like, just every bit of this trip in your eyesight is something that the kids would get excited about and something that the parents would get excited about too.
This is good. I think there's something in it.
Oh, what is it? Let me see.
I
Tuna?
don't know.
Maybe. What if it is tuna? All right, and this hot tea is for Colt. By the way, he's feeling so much better if you were worried about him. Today is a
You want
new
to get in the
day.
water, bud, or no?
He's feeling awesome.
No. We have to check out in like 2 hours. I keep looking at my wrist even though I don't have a watch.
Me neither. I've got the same time.
I think we're gonna have to pack. We're gonna have to get out of here, but we've still got hours and hours until we have to be to the plane, right?
That's right. I think we have about an hour and a half drive with traffic. So without traffic, it'll be much faster. And then the check-in process for Philippine Airlines at the airport should be smooth and easy. We always have a good time flying with them. And if you want to check out their social media, it's @FlyPal. And then it's going to be an easy 2-hour flight to get us back to Manila and our home in BGC. So we hope you enjoyed this episode. Please make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next episode exploring more of the Philippines. See you in the next one. I reach back to hold your hand, but you're holding a camera. Watch your step. The kids love actually playing those life-size chess pieces.
Life size.
Yeah, like for like a toddler. It's their life size. What do these things mean? All right, that's it for tonight, folks.
Door's ending. Ah!
No.
What did you say?
Door is ending.
No.
Oh.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, honey.
This is really cool. This tree is actually 2 different trees. There's a kalisay.
Talisay.
Kalisay.
Are you saying tali or kali?
I said kali. They're very similar fish, white and flaky.
It's tilapia, not tilapia.
Oh my god. Another example.
I'm not making this up to make fun of it. It's actually tilapia.
What a perfect sunset cruise this turned out to be. There's an ant crawling on the lens.